What is up, y'all? It is one of those days. I have an eye appointment today, and I have glaucoma, although I never mention it. I do. And if you ask, what do you do for glaucoma? It is not what people think. It's eye drops. So like for me, it's latanoprost and Combigan, which is to relieve the pressure in your eyes. Okay, and since we're on that, I have a story time about when they plucked my eyeball out of my face, because you can't make this up. So when I was a little bit younger, early 20s, so maybe, I believe I was like 26 when it happened. I was smoking and not a cigarette. So, partaking of the natural trees and plants that grow around. And I flew into a coughing fit, like you do when you smoke. And when I stood up and opened my eye, I could only see red out of this left eye. I could only see red. There was nothing. It was just red. And I didn't say nothing, y'all. For 2 days, I walked around like nothing was wrong, even though all I could see was red out of that eye. My mom realized it when I wouldn't drive, right? So she takes me to the emergency room. This is when you know something's wrong. If doctors go into a corner and whisper and look at you, something's wrong. So the doctors are over there. They've looked at my eye and they're standing in there and they're talking and they're pointing at me. And it's 1 a.m. And he comes over and he says, "Listen, you had a retinal hemorrhage." I'm like, "Okay." He said, "Retinal hemorrhages only happen to people in their 70s. What were you doing?" I was honest. I said, "Well, I was smoking a blunt." And he's like, "Okay, but that wouldn't have did it." Well, come to find out that I had smacked my eye on a meat cleaver machine, like a meat cutting machine in the kitchen. Because at the time, I worked in dietary in a nursing home. Okay, but this happened a year previous. Well, nothing came of it until a year later when my eye hemorrhaged. Now, let me explain what they do when things like this happen. He says to me, "We're going to do a vitrectomy." You can look it up, a vitrectomy. I said, "What is that?" He said, "We're going to pop your eye out, cut it open, remove the jelly, and insert a gas bubble into your eye." He said, "And then we're going to pop it back in." He said, "And that will get rid of the retinal hemorrhage." That is exactly what they did. Now, let me tell you what happened. So the day of the surgery, they put me to sleep. And this is a true story. And when my mom comes home, I'm going to have her verify the next time I record. They put me to sleep. I'm on the table. And I wake up during the surgery, y'all. I wake up and the nurse is wholeheartedly, hold on, I'm going to show you. Okay, let me use this piece of candy. Let me get a piece of candy. Because my mom keep candy for no reason. Okay, so I wake up and the nurse has my eyeball in her hand like this, literally. My first words were, "Is that my eyeball? What the fuck?" And I hear the doctor scream, "She's up, she's up. Put her back down, put her back down." And then I guess they put me back to sleep. But I seen that lady hold my damn eyeball in her hand. Literally. Okay? It is the scariest and most unsettling thing that you could ever see is someone holding your eyeball in their hand. True story. Anywho, it went well, clearly. I see fine. I have a little scar. It's hard to see. Let's see. I'll show you. See? That's where they cut it. Right there. It's like you could see it in my eye. It's where they cut it and then resutured. Who knew that they could cut your eyeball open and take the jelly out? And who knew they would fill it up? And then your eye remakes that jelly. So that's how that goes. And that is the alarm system you hear. And no one's here, but it doesn't matter. The way my mom has it set, if even a bird flies past, it's gonna go off. Anyways, just a short story time on what the hell happened to my eye. And I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your week. And I love you guys. And I'll see you on the other side of this music. Of course.